Good morning, students. So, in the last class, we have seen about an operating system, its objective, components, kernel, shell, all these topics we have covered in the last class. Today, we are going to start from the new topic, that is needs for operating system. But before that, we should know uh, the goal of operating system. So what is a goal? The fundamental goal of computer system is to execute user program and make tasks easier. Various application program along with hardware systems are used to perform this work. Okay, this is the first goal, and second goal is operating system is software which manages and control the entire set of resources and uh, effectively utilize every part of a computer. So this is the main goals of operating system. With the help of a diagram, we will try to understand this. If you observe over here, these are the hardwares, means your mouse, keyboard, CPU, all those are the hardware part, and we are the users over here. So when we want to use the computer, so operating system will come in existence, which will be near to the hardware, whatever is user asking for. That sometime he might be running using a compiler there, or using assembler there, or might be using the text editors like MS Word or Notepad, or might be using the database systems for creating the records there. So and these are the uses where users can do, but operating system will come in existence. He will be make sure that whatever user is asking, a system application program or a normal systems requirement whatever in there, operating system will try to fulfill all those things which has been required by the users. That can be asked from the hardwares, or just to manage and control every resource when any user is asking for. Okay, so now we'll see the need of an operating system. What is actually a need of operating system? Why we need this? We are learning about from the previous chapter itself that an operating system is important, but we should know what is the main needs of these operating system. So the first is it recognize and install periodical devices, means all your hardware devices which have been connected to your computer. That can be a mouse, keyboard, printer, anything whenever your external device has been connected to your CPU. So operating system sees that, he find out what you're connecting. Let's say when I'm trying to connect a pen drive, so he shows me a message comes on the screen. If you observe, then some device has been installed in your system. So he sees that whatever devices are been there, he recognize and install them in the computer or CPU there. Next is manages files and folders. So whenever we are saving any file or any folder where it should be done, means we don't know, when we are clicking on save, we just forget about how it is going to be saved in the CPU. But the operating systems come in existence when we try to save any file or folder. He sees that whatever files are been there are being saved properly without any problem. Then shares out system memory. As we are using or managing the file and folder, we need the system memory to be shared properly between the different files. If I have 1000 files, so operating system sees that all 1000 files get a space to save their work. Next is handle system errors and alert users. So if we are running some programs and we find some errors, system errors, let's say some hardware is not working, or some problem is coming to your application program, so he handles and try to rectify all the errors which have been generated on your CPU. Next is manages system security. If you are using a username, password you're giving, so he save your password. So whenever a user is typing the correct username and password, that person can easily open his parts of systems from there. He just protected from all the unauthorized access through login and password. He sees that protection against firewall is been active. If anyone's try to steal anything from your system, he sees that because you have given a password, it will not allow anyone to do anything. If he finds something, then he will display message on the screen. Next is allowing systems to communicate with hardware. If we try to use a computer, then it will see that we can easily communicate whatever we are asking to open on the devices. Those things have been opened properly without any problem there. Next is it handles input and output. So this is the one of the main important thing done by the operating system, that is he sees that users whatever he's putting, that information is being shown on your screen properly without any problem. Okay, so let's say with the help of an example we'll try to understand the need of an operating system. Let's say we are playing a game on the computer. Okay, and I am just using, let's say PUBG I am playing. Okay, where so many machines are been there, we are using guns for firing and all those purpose. So when we press the button, the person or character move or the gun shoot, all these things happens है ना. So actually how it has been done, when you are pressing mouse or you're using a key from the keyboard, you're just giving an instruction to the operating system to do the action. As you press a particular button or key, operating system knows the use of that key. So with that he will be moving the character or shoot a gun but bullets from the gun. So all these things are in the need of the operating system. He sees that whatever user is pressing the button, what outcome should be come with the help of that. Okay, I hope you understand about the need of operating system. We will be seeing the functions of the operating system with the help of this figure over here. Okay, so if you see over here as the functions of operating system, first function of operating system is the process management. So operating system sees that whenever we are working on either using a system process or an application process, means a user is asking something to be doing on the computer or a system requirement is being there, so that is being managed with the help of the operating system. Okay, then the second type of function of operating system is the file management or file system management. He sees that all the files or folders are being saved properly. Next type of a function of operating system is the memory management, as we discussed earlier, which file required how much memory and where it should be stored, so that also being seen with the help of operating system. Then is the security services. So as I told you, whenever we are giving a password, he sees that the only correct person log in. Then hardware devices, input and output. So whenever we are using any input or output devices, they should be worked properly. So there are some parts of the hardware devices, like first is the data storage devices, next is your media production and capture, and third is the network communication. Okay, one by one we'll try to see all these topics, starting from the process management. Process management deals with the management of the CPU. Operating system takes care of the allotment of CPU time to different process. Okay, let's say when I have opened 3 windows and I am working simultaneously. So operating system sees that the CPU allot accurate or sufficient time to each process what should be done. It should not do only one work. As the CPU is idle for some time, he should just move on to the next process, that is taken care with the help of operating system. The process management helps operating system to create and delete processes. It also provides mechanism for synchronization and communication among processes. When we are saying synchronization, if you have seen in your phones, sometimes it happen that when you are try to open your contact, so it asks you to synchronize, means you are seeing that your mobile and your contact both are being synchronized, same information is been there, so that we can easily share that. So same way operating systems also see whatever information is being there, it should be synchronized, both or whatever members are been using it, the information does not vary person to person, it should be same, and so that they can communicate between the processes there. Let's say when we are using any program, okay, it required much timing for executing that process. So what operating system will be doing, he will be dividing the process into different parts, and he allot each process to different person, let's say. Okay, so each will process their work, they try to, let's say we'll take an okay, I have given a topic to 4 students in a group. Okay, the topic is of 4-5 pages, so a group has been made. So what we usually do, each person will be taking 1 page of their work they will do, and at last all four of them will assemble and the project will be completed and they'll submit. Okay, it will not happen that only one person will do and other remaining will be just simply sitting. No, what they're doing, they will be divide their work. Same way in the operating system also sees that when a process has been there and the process is very large, so he will be divide the process and sees that after the work has been done they assemble and the result is shown. So that's why they say we can it also provide a mechanism for synchronization and communication among the process there. Next is the multiple programming environment, that is operating system decides which process get processor when and how much time. So he sees that all the, this is called the processor scheduling. Means let's say if my program is been this bigger, okay, this is the one of the program, then second one, then third one, so 1 2 3 and let's say 4. So as you can see this full is a 1. Okay, so it obviously required much time as compared to second one, because second is bit small as compared to one. So operating system will be seeing which process should get how much time and when they should get the priority. So this is called the process scheduling, means deciding which should be going first, second, third and how much time will be allotted to each of them. Okay, next the main activities done by the process management is, first is keep track of processor, because we have to see all the processes are working properly, so it will keep a track of processor and status of the process. Basically there are three types of process are there: active, then processing, or third one is stopped or killed. So means he sees that the process is just active, it's doing its work, or processing is going on, or it will just stop working there. So it is seeing the or track the status of the process there. The program responsible for this task is known as the traffic controller. So the name of the programmer who sees that all the process are being working or not working, that is the traffic controller. Just like your traffic police, he sees that all the working of the process is being done smoothly, all the cars or the all the vehicles moving properly on the road there. Same way here also the processor, the traffic controller sees that all the process are been working properly. Next is allocate the processor to the process. So when which process should be running in the CPU, that also taken care by the this process management. Next is deallocating processor when process is no longer required. Obviously when we are using we are seeing that process management sees that which process should be executed what time. Let's say I am processing first this one 1 2 and 3. If the work of one is finished, the user does not require this file anymore, so he sees that it will stop using or seeing deallocate the work by the process 1. It just sees that 2 and 3 are working properly. Okay, so that is the process management. Next type of operating system or function is your file management, file system management. File management allows all the file related activities such as organization, store, retrieval, naming, sharing and protection of the file is being taken care with this file system management. File system is normally organized into directories for easy navigation and usage. These directories may contain files and other directions or directories there. If you have just seen, when we are using C drive, D drive, they are usually directories are being formed. Means in C drive some folders been there and in that your file is being saved. And so here also how your files are being managed, that is being seen with the help of this file management or file system management. He sees that directories are formed and inside the directory there may be some files or some folders, or in one directory another directory can be there. Okay, it is not direction, it is for directory there. So it may contain files or directory. Next is we'll see the activities done by the file management. So first is keep track of information, location, user status, etc. So whenever we are saving some file, he sees that when the file is being saved, where it is being saved, it is been working by someone is doing any modifications. So all these records are being kept by the file system. Then decide who get resources. If someone wants to open that file, he sees that the person is being correct, then only he can open that file, otherwise that person cannot be opening that file. Okay, so he will be seeing that resources will be given to whom. allocation and deallocation is being of resources also being taken care with the help of this file system management. Next is your memory management. Memory management modules perform the task of allocation and deallocation of memory space to the program in need of their resources. So whichever resource need that in memory space, he sees that the space has been provided to them. Okay, memory management refers to the management of primary memory or main memory. Main memory is a large array of words or byte where each word or byte has its own address. Actually, whenever we are saving anything in the memory of your system, what is actually going on? I think earlier also I told you. See, if these are the so many files have been there, it's difficult for the operating system also to remember what file is been there. So what he usually do, he give an address to each file. Let's say your house numbers have been given so that we can easily find out your house. Same way here also operating systems give each file an address. Okay, and with that address he can easily find out where the file is being saved. He just record the address of that file so that next time whenever we are asking to open our file, with the help of address he can open that file. He cannot remember the file, he just remember the address, and each word or byte will be having its own address there. Okay, then main memory provides a fast storage that can be accessed directly by CPU. For a program to execute, it must be in the main memory. So if main memory is there, then only we can easily execute our program. Otherwise it is very difficult to store. Or now we'll see some activities of the file management. The first is keep tracks of the primary memory, means what part of it been used by whom and what should not be used by others. Then multi-programming, operating system device which process get memory when and how much, that has been taken care by the memory management. Allocation of the memory or deallocation of memory, when it is no longer be needed, it should be terminated from there. Means if a file is being deleted or user doesn't want to use that file, then we can just delete that file. He will see that the file has been deleted and the space is being free for other files to store there. Okay, now we'll see the device management. Device management keep a track of all the devices, how many devices are being attached to your computer, then which one is currently being using, that has been taken care by the device management. This module also responsible for this task is known as input output controller. He sees that whatever task being performed or allocation or deallocation of the devices, he sees that it has been done smoothly there. Okay, now some activities which have been responsible by the device management. So first is keep track of all the devices. As I told you, he will be seeing all the devices are being connected properly. If you find any problem with any device, he will show an error on your screen. Program responsible for this task is known as input output controller. Just now we discussed that. Then devices which process get the device, decision which process get the device when and how much time. So he sees that if 2-3 persons wants to use a same file, he sees that which devices should be allowed to using it. Okay, then allocation and deallocation of the device also been taken care with the help of device management. Now comes the some other important activities like security. As we already discussed, it be giving password and similar other activities so that unauthorized person is not allowed to access the data or the program. Then is the control over system performance. He just sees that all the recording delays between the request of the service and the response from the system. So means when we try to open something, he sees that if I click, then it should be open. It should not happen that it take much time. Sometime it happen that it will be slow because of the space being occupied by your files in your system. But he says that when a user wants to open, it should open that particular file or folder. Then is the job accounting. Job accounting means keeping a track of time and resources used by various jobs and the users. He sees that how many users use that file. He will keep a track of all the informations there. Okay, next is the error detecting ads. So he will be seeing that production of dumps, traces or error message or other debugging or error detecting ads will be there. If some problem is been there, so those problems are been shown on your screen so that user should know that there are some problem are been there in your system. Next is your networking. Networking means when we are connecting our system with another system, so or so many systems are being connected in network. A distributed system in a group of processor which do not share memory, hardware, devices or clock. Is the communication processor communicate properly with other network. So when we have connected so many computers to each other, he sees that all the processor communicate with one another through the network there. Okay, then is the coordination between other programs and users. As we are connected in a network, he sees that the coordination and the assignment of compiler, interpreter, assembler and other softwares to the various users of the computer system. He sees that all are been working smoothly without any problem being created there. Okay, now with the help of this diagram we can understand the functions of the operating system. That is, he will see that process management is been there, then memory management is there, file management, he sees that all the files have been managed properly, all the memories or the files have been saved with a proper address there. He sees that all the devices which have been connected to the computers have been working properly, security has been given so that no one unauthorized person can open your system. Job accounting means which process is giving what work or how many users open a particular file, all that job account has been kept here. Then secondary storage management means if I am using an external device for storing, that also been seen with the operating system that it is working properly. If you saved a file, it should be saved there. Then process management, networking, just now if we are connecting so many systems together, sharing of information is done properly without any problem. Then coordination between other hardwares and the user. Coordination, we see that if a users try to open something, it should be open in front of their screen. So for today class, up to functions of operating system only I am teaching. Now remaining topics are types of operating systems and commonly used operating system. So in the next class we'll try to cover those topics also. So just go through these topics properly and try to understand. If you find any difficulty, you are free to ask, okay, but read the book also so that you can understand these topics more clearly. Okay, thank you.